Hello and good afternoon, folks. This is Jen Espinosa-Goswami. I'm coming to you live from Be Weightless, my Facebook page. I'm a health coach who helps moms achieve body bliss in just minutes a day without joining a gym, without counting all sorts of different crazy things, and feeling like they can just have their outer body match their inner beauty. That's kind of how I work. I wanted to pop in really quick and tell you a little bit about some of the shifts that are going on in my business. And it looks like I have a weak connection, so I apologize for that. Let me see if I can shift it over here. Okay, so the title of this presentation today is called Shift Happens, because it does. And let's talk about that a little bit. I have certain shifts that I've been doing in my business, in my life, and in the things that I'm trying to accomplish for myself. So I thought I would come join you and talk a little bit about the shifts that are happening for me. First of all, I am reducing my gluten and my grains in my life, which if you've ever read any of my articles, you know that I do not give up bread. I have for temporary periods of time, but I'm a person who's like, I want my tortilla. I want my English muffin for my egg sandwich. And going against all grain is not my thing. I've read Wheat Belly, I've read all the big authors, and I don't necessarily embrace that for everyone, and I certainly don't coach my clients to remove all gluten and grains from their life. However, I've been dealing with an internal situation that has caused me to see a naturopath, and the naturopath recommended that I do a Candida type cleanse. And if you've ever looked into Candida cleansing, it's not for the faint of heart because not only do you have to give up gluten and grains, which in itself is a challenge for some people, but you also have to give up other certain types of food like potatoes or corn or even sweet potatoes, which are normally considered a healthy food. So, and also, of course, you have to give up all types of sugar. And I'm a person who does not shy away from sugar necessarily. I tend to focus on more natural sources of sugar, like I'll do syrup, maple syrup, 100% pure. I'll do honey, but I almost never go sugar-free in my life. That's just not my thing. But now I'm doing a cleanse, so for a short period of time at least, I've had to do that. And I've been on this particular cleanse, if you will, for several weeks now, and I dropped 10 pounds. I wasn't trying to lose weight. I'm just trying to focus on healing what's going on in my body through food, because I don't necessarily believe in supplements. At this moment in time, I'm taking some supplements because I believe that you should always experiment in a safe and protective way. But experimenting is the only way you can kind of shift things in your own life, because you can't get somewhere new if you've never tried different things other than what you're used to, and if you don't break out of your old habits. So in general, I do believe that food can heal just about everything you've got going on in your life, with maybe the exception of some really tough diseases like cancer and that sort of thing. I don't have any experience with dealing with cancer personally, so I can't really speak to that. But I do feel that using a combination of traditional medicine and alternative medicine are helpful for the majority of people that I work with. So the shift that's been happening for me is, oh my gosh, well, I knew I was not eating properly, right? Because I was eating too much cereal in the morning. I was eating convenience foods. I was eating crackers. I was eating things that weren't serving me. And I knew that in the back of my mind. We always know when we're doing things that we shouldn't be doing. But until we put a spotlight on it, it's really difficult for us to face it. We realize it at some level, but we push it aside because it's not important right now, right? So shift happens when you realize what's important to you right now. And right now, what's important for me is that I heal what's going on in my body through a Candida type cleanse. I'm not saying that everyone has to follow this type of cleanse. It's what's working for me right now. Is this a forever thing? If you have also followed me for any time, you know that I recommend only doing those things which you can follow for the rest of your life. Well, there's an interesting contradiction there, because when I first started losing weight, I said, I'm going to try this and see. And this is the approach I take with just about everything I do. I'm going to try and see what happens. So far, I've lost 10 pounds. I feel much, much better. My knee hasn't been bothering me as much because I strained my knee the other, like last month, because I was jumping on a trampoline. I wrenched one of the ligaments in my knee, and it's been a tough road to recuperate from that. It's kind of put me back for my exercise plan. So, you know, the results are speaking for themselves, and it's only been a few weeks. That doesn't mean that I'm on this to lose weight. That doesn't mean I'm on this to heal my knee. I'm on this to heal other parts of my body, like my digestion, my skin to some extent, things like that. So, but there are some really good side effects, if you will, of what I'm doing right now. Now, I am kind of going a little bit crazy by some of the recipes I'm having to be really creative with, because I'm replacing some of the things I got used to eating with things that are more acceptable. And I'm never an all or nothing girl, so I know I can make it work. I always make things work in one way or another. And if you have trouble making things work for you, if you're on a new thing, hi, thanks for joining us. We're talking about shift and how it happens and some of the shifts in my life. But if you are someone who struggles with implementing the action steps that you need to make shift happen for you, I invite you to a conversation with me. This is no obligation, calorie free. I'm not going to try to sell you into anything. But one thing I'm realizing is without the proper support for any sort of shift, you're less motivated, right? At least in the beginning, because it's tough. When you're learning new things and you're exploring different ways of understanding and you're playing around with new foods, not all those foods are going to taste good to you. Not all of those recipes are going to pan out. Some of the things will end up in the trash, and that's okay, because that's part of the experimentation process. Sometimes you're like, oh, this is going to work out fine for me and I'm going to make this happen. And then it doesn't for one reason or another. I actually design custom meal plans for folks, and I have designed like awesome, amazing meal plans that fit people's particular lifestyles. And then they'll say, oh yeah, I didn't get around to it. You know why? Because when someone does the work for you, you're less likely to implement. So that's part of why health coaching is so powerful. I didn't want to make this a terribly long video, and my dog is yelling at me, so I should probably get going. But I just wanted to share a little bit about some of the shifts that are happening in my life. I am changing how I eat, and this happens often enough, but it hasn't happened for me personally in about a year, because I've fallen into some old patterns. I'm not saying I'm like morbidly obese again, because I'm not, but I went through some grief with my dad passing last year. It's been almost 1 year since he passed. I had some personal things going on with my family situation. I quit my day job in October, which was a happy situation, but there's been a lot of transition and shifts in my life happening personally. And as a result, my health went on the back burner, and I was meal planning for my clients and I wasn't meal planning for myself. So now I'm shifting to a place where I'm going to meal plan for myself, continue to serve my clients with meal plans. If that's something you'd like to discuss for you, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to schedule a chat with you to see what that looks like. But this is a good shift for me, because as a health coach, as a person who's lost 100 pounds before, I understand that it doesn't happen if your food is not right. Like, you can't get somewhere without getting your food right. Can you hear Betsy in the background? In the beginning of the year in January, I made certain fitness goals, and those fitness goals will stay strong, but I cannot support my body's fitness level without supporting my food and my eating habits. So I'm back to square one, back to basics, and that involves meal planning for myself and shifting my attitude towards certain things that I previously threw out. Yes, even as a health coach, I need to shift my attitude as well. And that's why I'm always open to exploring new possibilities. So I just wanted to share that with you really quick today. I'd love to hear from you now. Yes, you get to share. What is a shift that you're going through personally right now? It could be in your health. It could be how you view certain foods. It could be how you view exercise. It could be how you view being outside. It could be anything, but I'd love to hear what shifts that you are personally going through right now, because we're all going through shifts at any given moment in our lives. And I love to hear what my folks in my community here are going through. This is Jen Espinosa-Goswami telling you shift happens, and that's an amazing thing. And feel free to share your personal shifts in the comments under this video. If you'd like to connect with me personally when it comes to implementing some of these shifts and making it an easier process for you, because that's what I do as a health coach, make shifting and implementation easier. I don't offer any products, so you don't have to worry about that. Feel free to comment on here, and I will connect with you privately to discuss what a phone call might look like, or how we can connect further and just explore what it is you're looking for. This is Jen Espinosa-Goswami telling you shift happens, roll with it, and we'd love to connect. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.